Only mode.
Hello everyone, we have Kathy from Delaware Country Community College. So she's going to present about the college and provide all the information of the requirements, the courses being offered. And once the presentation is done, you can go ahead and ask all the questions to Kathy so that she can answer you and help you out further. Kathy, over to you.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Kathy, we cannot hear you.
Sorry, I'm just having trouble moving to my next slide. It was working earlier. Give me one moment.
Okay, and no problem.
All right, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, again, my name is Katie Lozier. I'm the Director of International Student Services and Recruitment for Delaware County Community College, and I'm really happy to be here this morning and this afternoon for you to speak to you a little bit about what Delaware County Community College and what community colleges in the U.S. in general have to offer for international students. So I meet with a lot of international students in many different countries all around the world, and the kinds of conversations that we have when we talk about what international students' goals are for their education, a lot of students have to think about many different factors, including how much time they have to complete their education, how much they can afford to pay, because we understand that education, especially when you're thinking about studying abroad, can be particularly expensive. Some students have lots of different thoughts and preferences about what country they want to study in, what area of that country they want to study in. And students also have to think a lot about when they're applying to schools, what are the academic and language requirements for those schools, and are they able to meet the admissions requirements for those schools? So some of the reasons why a lot of students, both students in the U.S. and also international students, might choose to go to a community college as opposed to the other kinds of educational choices that students have. The primary reason for many students is the lower cost. Community colleges cost quite a bit less than other educational options in the U.S., and I'll go into that a little bit more. Community colleges in general, we have open admissions policies, so that means that the process to be admitted to a community college is much simpler than it is to be admitted to other kinds of schools in the U.S. In general, at community colleges, what students really like about it is that there's an individual student focus, and students get that individual focus through smaller class sizes, through quite a bit of advising resources, and also individual attention that they can get from their professors in those smaller classes. And finally, community colleges, just like a lot of other schools, offer a variety of programs. We have an ESL program at our community college. We offer career degrees, so degrees that help students to get an education and then immediately enter the workforce. And we also offer transfer degrees. That's commonly known as the 2+2 program. That might be something that you've heard of. And what these transfer degrees provide are pathways to attend other colleges and universities in the U.S. So just to touch on the cost, because that's something that's really important to students when you're thinking about study abroad, community colleges provide a really distinct financial advantage over other colleges, four-year colleges in the U.S., both public and private. You can see here, this is information from the College Board, which helps to publish the SAT. They have lots of information about the cost of undergraduate education in the U.S., and you can see here that students who choose to study at a community college will often pay sometimes half as much as they would pay at a four-year public or private university. So at Delaware County Community College, our total financial estimate for the current academic year, as you can see here, is just under $21,000. And what this total financial estimate includes is everything. So that's your tuition and fees, that's your housing, your insurance, all of your living expenses, books and food. So that's about how much money that we estimate that you need to live and study for 1 year in the U.S. And as you can see here, that's about half the price of many other four-year schools in the U.S. So why might a student choose Delaware County Community College in particular? In terms of our admissions policies, we don't require any standardized test scores for admission. So that means you don't need to present any TOEFL scores, IELTS scores, no SAT or ACT scores. Our admission requirement is proof of high school completion. So if you've graduated from high school in India or whatever country you might have graduated from high school in, that's our sole academic admission requirement. We have ESL program, and that ESL program includes tutoring. If students need any help with their academic English skills before they start at the college, we're happy to provide that ESL program for them. We have an average of 20 students per class, so you'll find that is in great contrast to many large public and private universities where sometimes you'll have up to 100 or more students in some classes. We've got around 20 students in every class at Delaware County Community College. At DCCC, we've got a highly educated faculty, and their focus is on helping students. You know, faculty members who choose to teach at a community college do so because they love teaching. At larger universities, you've got faculty that are focused on advising, they're focused on research and publication, and our faculty is there to teach, and that's all for the benefit of the students. And finally, one of the most important things that I think I want you to know about Delaware County Community College is our transfer agreements. So I'll talk a little bit more in detail about that, but what the community college allows you to do is to transfer to top universities in the U.S., and we've got over 40 different agreements, and that list is always growing with colleges and universities where you can get your bachelor's degree. And a lot of those transfer agreements that we have offer guaranteed admission, and many of them also offer scholarships to our international students, which is quite unique. So, Delaware County Community College, you might have heard of the state of Delaware. We're actually located in the state of Pennsylvania. So, Delaware County is in the part of Pennsylvania that's closest to the state of Delaware. We're actually located in a town called Media, Pennsylvania. And you can see on this sign here that there's a little saying about Media, which is that it's everybody's hometown. And I'm actually really pleased to say that Media is my hometown. I grew up in Media, and I'm really happy to be back in Media working at the college. And, you know, I can attest firsthand to the fact that Media is a really wonderful place to be and is a really great and welcoming place for international students. So this is a map that shows just exactly where the college is located. You can see here the state of Pennsylvania. We're right in the middle of the east coast of the United States. The college, we're right at that little star. We're located just outside the city of Philadelphia, which is a large city in the U.S. that you may have heard of. We're about 30 minutes from the city of Philadelphia. So what we're offering is a safe suburban location with close access to everything that the city has to offer. Besides that, I'd like that students to know that we're about 2 hours from New York City and 2.5 hours from Washington, D.C. So that gives students the chance to do any kind of travel and tourism on the East Coast of the United States, which is great. You can really get the full gamut of the history and culture of the U.S. by, you know, traveling between these three cities. But besides that, in the Philadelphia area, we've got one of the highest concentrations of colleges and universities in the whole United States. So a lot of students, as I mentioned, will start their education at Delaware County Community College, transfer to a four-year college or university, and just being in this particular location, it gives you access to so many schools for you to actually go and see the campus, talk with admissions officials, talk with other students, and really get to know those campuses before you make your final decision about where you want to get your bachelor's degree in the U.S. So as I mentioned, community colleges offer a variety of programs. We've got over 40 different programs for international students. So basically any major, any academic area that you would want to focus on, we've got a program for that. Besides our ESL program, and just to mention that those ESL courses, we have a session in the summer specifically for ESL, but those courses are offered year-round. We have over 20 different career degrees. So what those career degrees are, it's basically for students who want to get a 2-year associate's degree and then be immediately prepared for full-time employment. But that being said, those career degrees, many of those can also function as transfer degrees. And what that transfer degree is for students who are planning to transfer those credits to 4-year colleges and universities in order to get your bachelor's degree program. So this is that 2+2 program that I mentioned before. what most students will do is spend 2 years at a community college, and then if you transfer and spend 2 more years at another college or university in the U.S., at the end of that, you'll have your bachelor's degree, which is, the primary undergraduate educational credential in the U.S. So these are just a couple of our majors. These are by far the most popular majors and degrees for international students. You can see in terms of our transfer degrees, we've got everything: business administration, communication and computer science. We have lots of students that come to us for engineering. We have a state-of-the-art STEM center, so students who want to study science, technology, engineering, or math, we have state-of-the-art facilities for students to be able to do that. We've got a brand new major in global studies, so for students who have an interest in working in international fields. Our associates in fine arts programs, graphic design, math, and science. Science for health professions for students who are interested in healthcare fields, another fine arts program in studio arts. And then also our career degree programs. Accounting is an extremely popular major. Culinary arts and hotel and restaurant management for international students who might have interest in the hospitality industries. I always find that students who have an interest in studying abroad, working in the hospitality field is often a really great fit for them. And besides that, you can see here under our information technology program, we have 7 different concentrations. So I think if an international student, has a desire to study abroad, you can find just about any major that you want at a community college. So I mentioned before some of our transfer partners. For students who have a desire to do a 4-year bachelor's degree in the U.S., choosing the community college pathway, it allows you admission potentially to top schools in the U.S. that you might not have gotten into otherwise. So when you're applying to a school from your home country, it's always a little more difficult than if you're making that decision when you're in the U.S. First of all, you've got all these test scores that you have to submit. The application process can be somewhat complicated, securing recommendations from your professors or from your high school teachers in your home country. Besides that, proving your academic record, sometimes from your home country, it's not as clear to schools, how academically successful you can be as a student in the U.S. university environment. But choosing the community college pathway, you've got 2 years at a community college in a U.S. educational environment to show these top schools what your academic record can look like. So when you're applying to a 4-year school and you've got an associate's degree and a transcript from a community college in the U.S., those schools are going to look, very favorably on your application, and they're going to look at it in a different way than they would if you were just an international applicant applying for your home country. So these schools listed here are our transfer partners, and some of the advantages that these transfer agreements can offer to you, first of all, is guaranteed admission. So they will look at your academic record from Delaware County Community College, and if you have your associate's degree from DCCC, they're going to guarantee you admission to their school. In addition, if students choose these transfer pathways, a lot of those programs are offering scholarships to international students. And our international students have found that oftentimes when they transfer to these 4-year schools, because of these transfer scholarships, they're sometimes able to pay as little in their 4-year schools as they were paying when they were attending the community college because they took advantage of those transfer pathways. So some of our most popular transfer admission pathways for some of our most popular majors. I'm going to wait for this slide to show up for you guys. There it is. So we have lots of international students who come to the U.S. to study engineering. We're really proud to have a transfer agreement. It's a program-to-program transfer in engineering for the bachelor's program in engineering at Drexel. And you can see here they have a number of different kinds of engineering concentrations at Drexel. Drexel, their undergraduate engineering program is the number 53 top undergrad engineering program in the U.S. So we're really proud to be able to offer that option to international students who want to study engineering at Drexel. For students who want to study business, almost all of our transfer partners offer great bachelor's degree programs in business, but we're really proud to work with Temple University for their BS in Business Administration. Their Fox School of Business is a top 50 undergraduate business program as well. And finally, I mentioned the popularity of hospitality programs with international students. We have a guaranteed admission agreement with Widener University. Students who get their associate's degree in hotel and restaurant management with us are able to have guaranteed admission to Widener and take advantage of their bachelor's program in hospitality management. One of the great things about Widener is they have scholarships for our international transfer students from $10,000 up to $19,000, which is a really good portion of your tuition at Widener University. But that being said, I think it's really important for students to know that community college graduates can transfer anywhere. Besides our transfer partners and those guaranteed admission agreements which students can take advantage of, your community college transfer credits can go to any school in the U.S. So this is just a partial list of some of the recent transfer institutions for international students from Delaware County. All of the schools on this list are on the top 100 for U.S. News and World Report. You can see we have international students who've gone to the University of Pennsylvania, which is an Ivy League university in the city of Philadelphia. Northeastern University, Georgia Tech. We just had a student transfer to Georgia Tech very recently for chemical engineering. The University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana is a really popular destination for international students, and we've had students go as far as there. The UC system, we've had students admitted to UC Davis. Very recently, University of Maryland College Park. So you can see here international students from Delaware County Community College. Besides staying in the Philadelphia area, they have the opportunity to go to schools all over the U.S. So besides this community college transfer advantage, being able to, get your associate's degree and transfer for scholarships at four-year schools, something that I like to make sure that international students know is the advantage of being able to have work permission. So you may or may not know, at every degree level that you complete in the U.S., you're eligible for 1 year of work permission, and we call that OPT, Optional Practical Training. So a student who might go straight into a bachelor's degree program from their home country, when they complete that bachelor's degree program, they get that 1 year of work permission. But you can see here that students who choose the community college pathway, you're eligible for an additional year of work permission at the associate's degree level as well. So essentially, if an international student wants to get their bachelor's degree in the U.S. and they choose that community college pathway, they get a year of OPT at the end of their associate's degree, and they get it again at the end of their bachelor's degree. So if you're the kind of person who's really interested in having practical experience, getting some work experience, and being able to put that on your resume, the associate's degree pathway through community college gives you the advantage of being able to have that extra year of work permission, and that's a really distinct advantage for students who choose to go first to a community college. So besides everything academic, everything related to your, to your studies, I like to make sure that students know that Delaware County Community College, it's a really fun campus, a great college environment, just like any other school. We're making sure that our students have all of the support that they need to be successful. That includes a full-time international student office, and that's me. I'm not just here talking to you about how I want you to come to Delaware County Community College. If you do come to Delaware County Community College, I'm going to be your international student advisor. So actually my favorite part of my job is meeting one-on-one with students, and I help them out with everything from academic advising, immigration advising. I'm so lucky to have a colleague in my office who's our housing coordinator. So we have a college-run homestay program and assistance with off-campus housing. So my colleague Candy Berlin, our housing coordinator, her only job is to help international students find a great, safe place to live. We offer academic advising, transfer advising for students who are thinking about transferring to a bachelor's degree program. Personal counseling, you can get that from my office. You can get that from our counseling center. If you're feeling sad or if you're feeling homesick, there's always someone at the college for you to talk to. We've got tutoring services for all of our academic subjects and just a really state-of-the-art campus with high-tech labs and classrooms and equipment so you can really get the most out of your educational experience. And besides that, we have a really exciting campus life. You know, I like to make sure that international students know that when you come to the U.S., it's not only to study, but it's to have a really good time. We've got tons of clubs and activities, and international students should know that it's really important to get involved on campus, especially if you're thinking about transferring to a four-year degree program. Having those leadership and involvement opportunities on your resume is just going to really enhance your admissions prospects. We have a fitness and wellness center in addition to all of our athletics programs. We have an intercultural friendship program where we match international students and domestic students at the college together for cultural exchange, which is just part of our campus-wide commitment to diversity, you know, making sure that everyone on our campus feels truly welcome. And besides that, you've got easy access to Philadelphia and everything that a big city has to offer in terms of arts and culture, restaurants, nightlife. It's absolutely fantastic. So this is just a brief sampling of some of our clubs and activities and athletics on campus. I like to make sure that students know that there's something for everybody, whether you want to get involved in a club based on your academic interests or your personal interests. There's definitely something for everybody. So I just wanted to show you one of our successful graduates. This is my student, Eric. He just graduated with a major in business administration, and he's currently on OPT. He's working as a manager in a local company here in Philadelphia. So he was able to take advantage of that year of work permission, and Eric wasn't able to join me on the call today because it's quite early here in media, but I just wanted to share some of his words with you that just talks a little bit about his really positive experience that he had at Delaware County Community College. And I'm really proud and happy to say that, you know, Eric's experience certainly isn't unique. We have lots of graduates who go through our programs and are able to go on and do really wonderful things just based on the positive experience that they had. So if you're interested in applying to Delaware County Community College, the first thing that I would recommend that you do is that you take a look at our international student website. And that's listed here at the top of the frame. That gives lots of information about our programs, just about Delaware County Community College in general, with an emphasis on, you know, resources that are going to be most useful for international students. And on that site, you can find our international student application. I definitely, absolutely encourage you to work with Study Metro on your application. They work very closely with me in my office to make sure that you've got all the materials that you need as part of your application. And actually, if you apply through Study Metro, it just makes it that much easier for you. They work with me directly. I personally process your application. I'm the one who issues your Form I-20, and I send that to you so that you can go to the embassy or consulate that's closest to you and get your F1 student visa. So we've got some enrollment deadlines coming up. If you're interested in joining us in the summer term, our application deadline for summer is April 15th. But besides that, I know a lot of students are looking towards the fall admission for the U.S. colleges and universities. The application to apply for our fall semester is July 15th. But in addition, if you're not quite ready to come yet, students can join us any time of year. We also have a spring admission and orientation for international students. Our spring semester that starts in January, the deadline for that is November 15th. So that's all the information that I have to present to you today. If there's any questions that you have about community colleges in general or DCCC in particular, I'd be really happy to answer them.
Hello, Katie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm opening the forum for any questions. Any question in the room?
Great.
Okay. So online participants, please send across your questions. So there is one question, Katie, here. The student is asking that if there is any chance of getting a scholarship during a program in DCCC.
That's a great question. So we offer scholarships. We have a period where our scholarship application is open and scholarships are being given out. And we do that every year actually during this time. So between February and April, we open up our scholarship application. And so just a note about scholarships. There's over 100 different scholarships available at the college, and each scholarship has very specific criteria. But the really great thing about it is that to get a scholarship at Delaware County, you fill out one single application, and then on that application you indicate the different scholarships that you're eligible for. So we've got scholarships that are unrestricted, which means that absolutely anyone can apply for them. We have scholarships that are specific for international students, and then every other scholarship has, some particular criteria. So it might be related to a student's academic major. It might be related to their, financial situation. So say, for example, we have scholarships specific for students in nursing. We have specific scholarships, say, for women who have, demonstrated financial need, for students who've overcome hardship in their lives. And so you submit your one application and you indicate the scholarships that you're eligible for. And those scholarships, when the application happens in the spring, it's for the upcoming fall and spring, so for the upcoming academic year. And actually the amounts of those scholarships, it varies quite a bit. But we have a link on our website that's dedicated to scholarships, and because that application process is open right now, I'd welcome the student to go to our scholarship website and just take a look at the many different scholarships that are available for students at Delaware County. That was a great question.
Sure. Katie, there is a question in the room here. The student is asking if you offer any graduate level programs in biotechnology or robotics.
No, at community colleges, the only thing that we offer is associate's degree programs, and essentially that's the first 2 years of the undergraduate program in the U.S. In general, community colleges don't offer any graduate level programs.
Right. Any question? Any other question? No. Online participants, is there any other question you have? No. Katie, I guess we do not have any question, any further question in the forum. So
Great.
Thank you very much for doing this session so early in the morning.
Not a problem. Thank you all so much for hosting me. It was a great pleasure of mine to be able to talk to everybody.
Sure. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Absolutely. Have a really great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.